Hey, this is Outwit Me, back with DE. Disco Elysium. Alright, I know how we're gonna move forward here. Yes. I don't remember which of these saves are just junk saves from save scumming. I need to make sure we haven't wasted our skill point. Alright. We're not gonna brute force the save scumming. Not yet. I do reserve the right to do that if necessary. But what we're gonna do is just give in on our stubbornness and work on some of these older quests. I am perfectly willing to give up on the achievement for the sake of story and better content. Also, it's an achievement at the Epic Store. It's not even on. I don't even own this on Steam, so. Does anybody care about achievements on Epic? Really? I don't think so. I know so. I don't even really know how anyone would look at those. And they don't work for like half my games anyway, so. Yeah. We're gonna go for an alternative means of getting through the jam here. And then we'll poke at the body if we have to do that. We're really just trying to delay long enough to get to 9 so we can do the other quest with the smoker in the apartment.
Hello, compatriote. You have something to discuss?
Hope we didn't already blow this.
I salute you, compatriot. Defenders of the evening lands have to stick together. Light up, brother. Ward off those jungle spirits.
3 cigarettes.
Whoa, jackpot. Racist jackpot.
I don't know what you're talking about. Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
No. He means la puta madre.
That sounds scary.
The name resounds like a bell in the air. A dark gong. You get a bad feeling about it. Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this.
Yeah, him.
No, looks like we might have already gone down this, but that's not stopping us.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is. It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorryman and Carter's Guild.
You've seen the corpse in the yard, yes? You took a peek. I know you did. Does it look like his friends protected him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod. I softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job.
Occidental Alliance.
Men like this only respect two things: strength and fear.
At least that was easy.
Time to turn up the volume.
Fuck you, I told you. I'm not gonna...
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green, banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days.
Now it's not a big deal for him anymore. This is how he saves face.
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now leave me the fuck alone, okay?
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up, too.
There. Sometimes you gotta just give up on your stubbornness and start assaulting the civilians. That's how all progress is made in life, right? You swap out assault for a better word, maybe, but nah. Better word being interact or something. A more universally applicable.
This green found, A to Z, contemporary, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This must be the one he told us about, unless he was lying.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced.
Nothing's ever that easy, is it?
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside. This has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
That is annoying that they make you manually equip the tools. I don't know what the purpose of that is. Okay, we already got the speed going, so we'll percept anything
This
that's
green
in there.
found, A to Z, contemporary, is parked in the shadow of the ruins. With a firm grip, you raise the pry bar. A glint of light catching on the tip. Call down the hammer of truth and justice. Release your secrets, lorry cabin. The window shatters, and droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement.
Subtle.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least. For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation, with quite a range too. Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
The ghostly actresses and the rusty toolbox under the driver's seat. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin. The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably Grenade No. 5. The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. A feeling of tenderness washes over you. A longing even, perhaps, and gentle tragedy. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? But you can't put your finger on whom exactly. The actresses and the rare actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper. It's an issue of Périphérique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's the hangover, but they give you a headache.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Voila! A stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. It's Revachol. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen.
Bonne prise.
This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called the Old South. Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock, and this person knows them all. There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881. High above the mass of brown and red roofs, that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield.
Why is it significant that they know all the ways on and off a road that hundreds of thousands of people also know? Makes it sound niche, and then it makes it sound common back to back.
To Couron, through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road. This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, old military hospital, right adjacent to the 41st precinct. No storm will ever drown Revachol, the great solution to the riddle of history. Wind rips through the empty hallways of the once great military hospital, now just a ruin under an overgrown park. Beneath the hospital, great sewer tunnels hum and vibrate with life of their own. The rattle of motor carriages and lorries driving through long-forgotten tunnels, lit by gaslights. The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of Motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain and a traffic island in central Jamrock by the lake.
Having maps of service tunnels and sewers is more suspicious than I know where the on-ramp is to the highway.
Despite the cold, figures move about cloaked in shadow, their breath escaping in white clouds that fade into the darkness. Wherever you look, the night gives cover to her messengers.
But this one was actually proving the usefulness of that.
They travel from eminent domain to perdition and onto the main, over the River Esperance, on Route 881 to the Old South. The exit ramp is supposed to be shut down, but there's much activity. The road spreads like the tentacles of a great octopus.
It means that the smugglers are secretly using the motorway to transport their goods and materials. They've infiltrated East Motor Tract, most likely. The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them. It's definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madre remains the most likely suspect. Here's bad news. There have been attempts at a serious investigation before, but they haven't ended well for those involved.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is a brave man for saying Madre's name without the winces and whispers that usually accompany it.
Yeah, having damage to the morale and such actually does make these skill checks harder. Let's try to manage that.
Especially bad news for cops who may have something in their past they don't even know is there.
Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the Besmerti behind it. The Besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revacholian Indo-tribes, but really they're just violent gangs vying for control on the west side of Revachol. With cool names like La Puta Madre and Aura Masta, it's a dark parody. Best not to disturb the scene. I'll have forensics go over the lorry and pick this up later.
The stack of maps looks just like before, barely noticeable. The movie stars look silently by, and the pull-out toolbox has a rubber handle, worn from years of use. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver.
Man, you couldn't even put things back in a toolbox. It's like a foot away.
But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle.
What?
Sandpaper? A novel technique. Must be to offer some extra grip to the driver's foot.
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. But there's something strange about the passenger seat. You close the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
I don't know. We gonna actually talk to Kim? What do you want?
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
The lieutenant nods, but he's not happy.
Just want to get it over with, Kim. Who cares? Oh, Tommy, what can I do for you?
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble? Oh man, that's like a load off my mind. All that stress was messing up my rhymes. Oh, you know, Tommy Leham's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft. Tommy Lam was taken. My real name's Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better.
It's more him. The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Yeah, at some point we're gonna need to cut some shortization skill. And we got this to help with some of the skill checks now. Doesn't help with the glitch. We moving on. What are the chances Joyce will talk for 3 hours? Pretty low, I take it.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Yes, my eyes on the harbor have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? It doesn't really matter, and I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
I forgot to look up what this gives me as a bonus. Let me look that up real quick. We're going to play a little metagamey tactically, however you want to phrase it, just to try to avoid having to do the save scumming instead. I already got the wiki open anyway. And it's not coming up with that. Oh, it's not the wiki, it's IGN. That's why it's not helpful. Just a second. Alright, now I got the right page. And oh. That's a bad thought to gain. Especially toward the end of the game. Yeah. That's when you lose things. You lose skills. But you gain more XP from dialogue choice. We do not want that. Okay. I should look up this one too. Alright. That'll be useful if I want to actually complete the quest. I know that much. The, specifically the disco quest. The bass. But, will it do anything other than that? Not really. Unlock some checks. I'm not sure. We may just give up on that quest. Realistically, we didn't build our character for it. So, perhaps we should have opted out. You can look up the full completed song online. It's well worth listening to it. But we had 12 electrochemistry. That's strange. And empathy. Are we at 12 on these 3 skills? Most peculiar. We're gonna unlock that check just by doing these quests. Fortunately. A lot of conceptualization checks in this game, aren't there? Is that the most common skill? We can retry some of these other checks. We might as well run around and do things for experience too. But let's carry on with this.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
She's trying to conceal her excitement, but the slight glimmer in her green eyes tells you otherwise. The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
Yeah, it's my decision.
Exactly. But what?
Oh.
I've kept my eye on the Communers. Even tried to get to know one. It's a mystery I'm already invested in. Which one of them, if any, could organize such a complex operation?
He sounds very nervous. It's strange.
I don't believe that for one moment, officer. I'm just going to assume that departmental regulations prevent you from saying anything more. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
Is this gonna be a hot bath or a cold bath? And how many bath bombs are we expecting?
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Only the west half of the city? That's not that bad.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail. They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer. Every worker a member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric and not a serious demand, but the stridency of it seems to have spooked them.
Man, why don't I remember what stridency means? I'm like Mr. Vocabularium. And then I get some that I know is a pretty common word. My brain's like, oh. Like boldness. Yeah, I don't think that's quite... Damn it, I gotta look it up now. I'm already looking stuff up this episode. It's more than boldness. I think there's more of a hostility to it. but let's get the actual definition. This is an edutainment video now. Oh, thanks, Merriam-Webster. Stridency is the quality of being strident. If people can become a brand name and make a living making a dictionary that literally just has those kind of definitions for every word. And I bet if I looked up strident, it would be like, oh yeah, it's the other form of the word stridency. Yeah. There's better dictionaries here. Not this one, Collins Dictionary. Oh, the quality of being strident. No. Yeah, Cambridge Dictionary, the one that actually wants to answer the damn question. The quality of being loud, unpleasant, and rough. It's alright. Wow, there's a lot of dictionaries that just don't want to answer the damn question. That's obscene. Alright.
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenel, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenel contractors carry out their orders, for now. It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
It will be all of them. The decision is already made.
It was the Union who strung him from that tree. My hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before Crenel indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
They would have to project strength and power.
The Debardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty. These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all. As I said, a bloodbath.
It appears you found it, yes. And I'm not happy for you.
Many bleak scenarios have already come true, Lieutenant W. Frater Dubois. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it. The remaining contractors, their tribunal, it's what they believe. That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
This does not come as news to us, but still. To your knowledge, where did this assault take place, if you know?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too.
Didn't we get here on Saturday before Sunday? I don't know. No, I mean, their last Sunday means more than one Sunday ago. Right. Alright. Yeah, I'm not too awake over here.
Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him. That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
This may not be the longest episode today. I'm already fading. My vision's blurring out. Just in the AC to see if that helps, but might be too late.
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell.
Down a deep, black well.
Not using that purple slime med, whatever it is. But this would have been a good conversation for it if we weren't running low.
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Escort missions. They get the boring missions, huh?
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil. Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, man?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell. I have, and they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us. Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
5 days, not more. Maybe sooner.
It's a matter of days, not weeks. They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them to stand down. That's wise. Our goal is to avert catastrophe. Besides, you're likely to encounter them sooner or later. If you mean did I see him alive, yes, but I did not know him.
You don't know how you know. It's not written on her face, nor in her voice, but she had sympathy for this man.
Liked is a bit strong. He was the most charismatic among them. He handled all the talking. His departure left a major gap in the group's communication skills. Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one. One is a man, Corty, they call him, a nickname as well. The other a woman, Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
That's all right, then. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40 or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age or gauge his facial expressions.
What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Must be hard to force your face to move in a new fashion. If you continue like this, you'll have an aneurysm. Then you'll have to.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Have I unlocked that check with Joyce? I don't think so, no. Man, I should have checked this at the same time, but if I unlocked the one with Titus here. No. I think we can go talk to him and unlock it, though. I mean, we gotta go back to the bar anyway. Got anything to talk about?
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do for you? I prefer the old name, Insulindian Lily. Girls brought them to young cadets when they entered service. Wearing them on your cap was supposed to bring good luck. You know what? No. They brought me misery, false hope, and disappointment. The revolutionaries sullied them.
You stirred up some bad memories there.
All in a day's work.
But it wasn't the revolutionaries that sullied the ID for you, was it? She gave them to me too. and your jealous little heart just couldn't accept it.
Enough! I can go over these matters in detail with you, Gaston, but not while we have company. So, officers.
Maybells don't blossom yet, do they?
Maybe on some remote parts of the city they do. But I think you'll have to wait for at least a month.
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. How may I head the citizens' militia?
Well, it was worth talking with them. Barely, but it was. However, will it be worth talking to you? I don't.
It's you again. What is it? Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Crenell.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
I don't get it.
Nervous, snickering. There's a rush of adrenaline present. Titus did his best, but his men are a bit unsettled.
Goddamn right, it's nothing. The fuck are they gonna do? We got 10,000 men in the Union.
Yeah. That's that, I guess. We're gonna actually have to do the investigation now. But I don't wanna do that. I don't know that I got the endurance right now to go through this. This is a huge dialogue. None of these quests are doable right now. Alright, is there anything we can poke at before I call this as an early episode? Would you stop scrolling me? Beaming mouse, their scroll wheels. How do we unlock that check? Huh. Weird. Scroll, 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 scroll. Really annoying. Should go full akimbo and use both of these mice here to scroll. White envelope. I don't like the fact that it mentions checks that aren't even available anymore. Irritating. We go mess around with the mirror upstairs again. Wanna go in there? Oh, hey, there's a shirt here. That's gonna come in handy. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah. Our alcohol war.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Literally have the multi-tool.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression,
"None of this matters."
the chain cutters slip out of your hands as you attempt to twist the faucet into place. Well, you know one thing for sure.
That was useless. Yeah, why are you poking through my inventory, Papa? Oh, it glitched. Glitch. Let's see if we can make anything happen with that conceptualization check. Where? This is one probably gonna have to save scum at some point. Unfortunately. Why isn't the shirt? Wait, were we walking around without a shirt this whole game? What? That's not correct. What did we have on before? Did it glitch and delete something? I have to check that. Alright, drop a save. Let's see what we had earlier, because I'm somewhat suspicious we just deleted whatever we were wearing. No, okay, it just automatically equipped it and took that off. Okay. Weird. Alright. Probably is worth actually putting a skill point into that.
Yes, what is it?
Still obscenely bad.
Yes, what is it?
All right, brainstorming time. Remember, this is just the ideation phase.
We're gonna have to scum this save. I don't think there's any other way to complete this, and this is one of our primary quests here. I'm just searching real quick in the wiki to see if there's anything else we can do with this. But I don't think so. Yes, this. I confirmed that the pale vodka is actually just a way to throw away money, so that's nice. Nah, we gotta scum the check.
Yes, what is it?
Unfortunate.
Alright, brainstorming time.
Yeah, cheating time. Yeah, we're gonna do all the missteps this episode. Cheating. Giving up on the achievement. Giving up on being stubborn. Yeah. This is what keeps Disco from being a 10 out of 10.
Yes, what is it?
So you get near the end game, you gotta just brute force some of these checks.
Alright, brainstorming time.
Are we, what, 1 out of 6 on getting this right? Clicky, clicky.
Yes, what is it?
Alright, brainstorming time.
Should have saved after clicking on the cigarette. But I didn't. I'm too stubborn to do it now. Gotta keep some of my stubbornness.
Yes, what is it?
Alright, brainstorming time.
Alright, reloading time. This might even go by quicker if I didn't keep trying to use this every round, but that'd be like double cheating. Do I happen to have anything else that adds conceptualization? That's probably the right question to be asking. No.
Yes, what is it?
Alright, brains.
No brains.
Yes, what is it?
I think it is worth the time doing this.
Alright, brainstorming time.
Annoying.
Yes, what is it?
Alright, brainstorming time.
Yes, what is it?
This is probably one of the reasons I took the long break on the episodes.
Alright.
I saw this coming a mile away.
Yes, what is it?
Alright, brainstorming.
Luck is not on our side today.
Yes, what is it?
Annoying.
Close your eyes. Unfold your mental map of Martinez. It's morning. You're standing on the plaza before the whirling in rags. The wind pushes a piece of tear across the cracked tiles. From the north comes the malicious laughter of 2 children. Beyond the unkempt backyard rises a monstrous assemblage of concrete, plaster, and corrugated sheet metal. From behind you, a low, spectral voice whispers, "Nay."
Nay. Like Bay.
Your eye follows the tiles west. You see a bench and a few twisted, pitiful trees. Then, just water. The voice again, more urgent now. Nay. Just a moment. That voice isn't human, and it's not saying nay. It's saying nay. You turn around. The morning sun is blinding. You bring your hand to your brow, and a great shadow materializes before you. A towering beast, frozen in mid-air.
The dead king and his horse. It could work.
It may work, you think, but why do you feel like there may be a terrible cost?
Because he always feels like that.
We'll need an adequate power supply and a great quantity of cable. If we connect the cables to some of the stranded lorries, we could theoretically increase the antenna's wavelength exponentially. Quiet. I'm doing maths. Yes, assuming we can find just a few pieces of equipment. It's completely ridiculous, but I believe we could transform the entire roundabout into one solid fractal antenna.
A note of awe in her voice. She's shocked and pleased by her own audacity.
What you choose to call it isn't my concern. I'm only here to tell you what's feasible or not from a technical viewpoint. I have plenty of cables and amplifiers on hand. The power supply, I will secure on my own. All we require now is the radio transceiver itself. Of course you have. They aren't exactly rare.
And before you ask, no, you can't have the radio from Machinima. I highly doubt that. When I crank the volume on my dyno wave, it's like you're in the front row at the National Concert Hall.
That will be fine. As long as the radio is functional, that is what counts. That sounds like a perfectly adequate radio. Certainly, though it requires a fair amount of technical finesse to remove them. Frankly, it's not worth the bother. Just find a regular radio. In the meantime, I will gather the rest of the materials. We will meet back here when you have it.
Yeah. Make us some progress. And yeah, I already looked ahead. I know where the possible radios are. And my instincts were right when I was actually manually searching for that. The last episode when it was too early to be doing that stage. I'm glad of that. My instincts were good. It's too soon. Trying to find a way to make the skill check easier that didn't exist. So, whatever. Never gonna miss an opportunity to talk to Roy.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. A transceiver, is it? Yeah, we should have something to do the trick.
He produces a machine encased in a blue bakelite shell. Its black face covered in an assortment of pearl-topped knobs and dials. The lieutenant whistles a long, quivering note.
A genuine crystal sprach. This is a connoisseur's model, good for picking up foreign milieus.
The Model 9 also comes equipped with a signal purifier to suppress crosstalk, especially good around here with our funky reception.
Yo, file radio.
It's about as close to perfection as a transceiver gets, and we're only asking 120 real for it.
I don't know that that's gonna be possible.
You'll be back again, I've got a feeling.
That's a different line than what's written here. Yeah, I feel like we might have wasted too much money on the old additives and funny hats.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
I don't think we're gonna actually be able to get that one.
The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers triumph over them. They're the star of the show here.
Don't want that anyway.
You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes. The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed.
No luck. All you find is this lime-colored cellophane visor.
Oh, that visor is perfect for you, officer. It definitely don't like it.
I already got the visor. We're not gonna save scum that check. Only the important checks.
This found A to Z, abandoned by the smell of cigarettes and perfume. Well, there's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be. It takes a few moments, but eventually the transceiver slides from its greased socket mount with an eminently satisfying ching. As you take the transceiver in your hands, the lieutenant bites his lower lip, apparently deep in thought.
Funny, isn't it? The lady driver used this same radio to evade coalition authorities, and now you are using it to contact them directly. It's just ironic, that's all.
Where the radio used to be, there's just a rectangular shadow now. It's about the size of a small box of pasta, but much heavier.
What?
Now that you're looking at it more closely, you realize the various dials and meters make it look vaguely like a face. A distinctive triangular logo forms the nose.
Interesting, we're getting some different text to the spoken word in this quest.
Not just any face. It reminds you of the grotesque carvings sometimes found in prehistoric caves.
Oh, now I'm just gonna be passing conceptualization checks, huh?
I wouldn't like to guess. Your performance so far doesn't exactly inspire confidence.
Hey.
But all sorts of things are possible. You could reach the coalition and have your talk about la responsabilité. I could grow 10 centimeters and become a flanker for the stormers.
The movie stars are still smart to close the rusty old lorry door.
Hope you didn't get jump scared by that. Oh look, the fast travel's working. We make our progress today. Probably should get rid of some of these extra saves. I don't want to be too ridiculous. I think we can also switch back to that.
Yes, what is it? Ah, very good. Let's see what you have. Interesting. An Esterhazy EH4. heavily customized. This is an advanced model, highly capable. I'll need to replace the frequency dial, but it should certainly work for our purposes.
I want the expensive one.
I believe that means we're ready to get started. I should warn you, once we begin setting up this antenna, we'll need to see the whole process through. There won't be any second chances, any do-overs. You understand?
No safe scumming? Oh. That just means the safe scumming takes longer. No.
So if there's anything you'd like to get in order before we depart, I suggest you do it now. That's up to you. At a minimum, I would make sure you are physically and mentally prepared for an intense and difficult process. Once we begin, there can be no interruptions. Radio engineers typically carry overpriced solvent sprays to clean the antenna connections. But in a pinch, some common ammonia works just fine.
Wait.
Psst. It's the alcohol in the ammonia that's doing the real work. Kinda like with you.
No, that's no problem then.
Finally, there's the question of stimulants. Some people prefer to keep illegal amphetamines on hand to help with their work. I'm not one of them, but they do exist.
Got that covered.
It is possible that technical fields attract a certain kind of personality. I haven't given it much thought. Ah, yes. I wasn't sure what to do about that, but then I discovered an abandoned power source down by the edge of the bay. Oh, yes. I did notice that it was covered in police livery. Then you already know that the carriage itself is irreparable, but the rear-mounted engine seems to be in fine working order. My intention is to run a power cable from the engine up to the antenna. It won't last forever, but it should give us enough time to establish a connection with Coalition warship Archer. That's fine. Return to me when you're ready to go.
Yeah. How long is that gonna last for? Might actually need that. And we need it unglitched. And just drop a new save. I thought I was overwriting one. I don't even know anymore. We got too many saves again. I'm getting confused. Pretty easily confused. I don't know, I guess do I have the... Yeah, I got the energy to mess around with this quest. Put the body off. Again. That's like my favorite thing.
Yes, what is it? Very good. If you'll help me with some of this equipment then.
Back across the water now. At least we are getting our exercise in today.
If you'll please carry that amplifier, officer, and if you'll take that spool of cable, we should be able to move it all in one trip.
That's a long way to run cable. The very definition of extra.
And now if you'll just connect that here...
It's done. I believe we are ready.
He can really just go along with anything, won't he?
We're ready to try at least. Please put on these headphones. There should be 2 extra sets. I've configured the channels so that only your microphone is set to broadcast, officer. We'll all be able to listen, but anyone we reach will only hear your voice.
Is that a good idea?
You will need to transmit your connection request while I attempt to locate the warship's public frequency. You will likely encounter some interference, but it's important to keep transmitting your request until you're acknowledged. Ready? Then it will be exactly like every other moment of every other day. I ask again, are you ready? Too late. I've begun transmitting.
A soft rustling between your ears, a winterscape with fast falling snow. Every light switch, every motor carriage, every doorbell, tea kettle, and radio in Martinez, all mingled with electrical interference caused by scattered thunderstorms over Ozone.
Officer, are you in order? We're waiting for you to start.
You're all alone out there, wandering a blasted heath, calling out to the night. But there is no reply, except for the buzzing of invisible machines. The lieutenant looks up at you with a nervous glance.
Now he can be double nervous.
He is nervous for your sake, of course, but also his own.
Make it triple.
Looking at him now, with both hands on his headphones, you see very briefly what the lieutenant must have been like when he first joined RCM. Then he turns to you. He shakes his head slightly and looks back at the amplifier.
Try again, officer.
Perhaps you're simply imagining it, but it seems as though you're learning to pull apart the fibers of this auditory felt. You focus on one strand in particular, one that sounds very nearly human.
Nein, Liebling, das lasse ich nicht zu. Wie kannst du unseren Jungen bloß auf einen dieser Dinger nach Brede fortschicken?
The coalition is German. Whatever this word is, it seems to be a proper noun. I don't know. Is this? And that? I'm assuming German works the same as English. That's a bad idea.
Marianne, mir erzählt, dass Oscar nicht mehr, seit auf einem Luftschiff aus Graz zurückgekommen ist. Halten ihn die Psychologen für vollkommen normal. Aber sie hat das Gefühl, seit seiner Rückkehr mit einem Fremden zusammenzuleben.
You can't make out a word of this gibberish. The rustling of dry autumn leaves, waves breaking at a distance, 1,000 wings beating at once.
Liebling, bitte. Er ist unser einziges Kind. Er kann auch nächstes Jahr zur Akademie gehen.
It's crosstalk. In all likelihood, they can't hear you. You have to keep trying until we get a signal through. Again?
It's
That's creepy.
A slight frisson at the point where your neck meets your spine. Something about the lieutenant's words directed at you, but not you.
I didn't say anything, Detective.
Someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
What?
An uncomfortable silence falls over the connection.
It's been a long winter. Long and cold.
I promise you I didn't, even though it certainly sounds like me.
I can't say with certainty, but it sounds very much like anthroponetic crosstalk. It happens sometimes when sending transmissions across long stretches of pale.
Ah, yes, of course. That must be it.
You don't know what that means either, kid.
Pale, 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 pale. Seems to be missing from your records.
Natürlich halten ihn die Psychologen für vollkommen normal.
What else is there to do? Keep trying.
But someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Sunset, please acknowledge. Liebling, bitte. Ist unser einziges Kind.
Maybe that expensive radio with the crosstalk rejection wouldn't have been such a bad idea.
Where's she parte? Please identify.
The signals are getting increasingly mixed. Plucking Archer's signal from this will be like isolating a single strand from a tangle of hair.
It's not working. The crosstalk is simply too strong. I did not expect simply locating the signal to be so difficult. We must consider several variables. Local anthroponetic conditions, the sophistication of our transceiver, the quality of our connections, and the physics of our antenna itself.
I'm sorry, did you say we?
Fortunately, we have a more than adequate transceiver, so I do not believe it is causing any problems. And we're also unlikely to change our local anthroponetic conditions. So, the next step is to thoroughly inspect our connections. You need to climb up there and look at them for yourself.
Someone has been maintaining it.
Hey.
Come on, son. This isn't anything but a common high bar. Just get a solid overhand grip and hoist yourself up.
No quick save and conversation, huh?
Images of your body smashed against the pavement flood your mind. This is dangerous.
Oh, go away. I forgot to change my shoes back. Oh no. My empathy shoes.
Your gloves give you a solid grip on the metal bar. This feels pleasingly familiar. Keep it together, champ. You've got this.
Don't die.
And before you know it, you're safely perched atop the monument.
Yes, you're a natural gymnast, detective. Now, would you like to do what you got
connection itself is nothing more than a little braid of exposed wire wrapped about the hoof of the horse. A copper fetter it cannot slip.
The hoof. We're nowhere near the hoofs.
The whole monument is covered in a thin but durable layer of oil and grime. It's obvious no one has cleaned it in years.
Oh, the whole horse is copper and is working as the antenna. Gotcha.
It takes a few moments, but the alcohol gradually begins to break down the oils surrounding the copper wiring.
Is this really the time, Detective?
It's all right, Lieutenant. He's simply cleaning the connections.
More than that, you're sacrificing something precious on the altar.
In case.
Once the oils have been dissolved, you wipe off the connections with your sleeve and reattach the cable.
It seems to have made some difference, but unfortunately not enough to alter the overall situation. Unser einziges Kind. Kann doch auch nächstes Jahr zur Akademie gehen. Short of changing the shape of the antenna, I'm not sure what else we can do from here. And the lorries are all jammed together, so that's unlikely to happen.
Oh yeah, they're all part of the antenna as well.
Ideally, narrow the receiving mode so that we can isolate the warship signal and eliminate the crosstalk. And if you don't know what you're doing, of course you could just make it worse. What do you mean? You adjust the antenna manually, with your hand. I'm afraid we're out of alternatives. You're just going to have to go for it.
She's right. The responsibility is yours, and yours alone. There's no turning back now.
No. Anti-object prejudice. What? What do you mean? Looking down seems like a bad idea.
This faithful steed is in nearly as poor a condition as its rider. You are face to face with Philip III. The Bronze King looks toward the west. Something about his features seems bizarrely distorted.
I'm not sure we're gonna be safe scumming this. This would be a very long segment to replay over and over. Of course it's a 3%. Can't change anything.
The sky is opaque with dark clouds. Somehow, the raindrops seem to fall more slowly from this angle. You turn to the east, but the visibility is quite poor. You see no sign of Coalition warship Archer, though you know it can't be too far away.
I mean, we can't make the chances worse.
A few of the idle lorry drivers and strikebreakers gesture at you with their cigarettes, more out of curiosity than anything else. From the window of one of the adjacent apartment buildings, an older woman leans out, her heavy breasts sagging.
Distracted.
She yells a single word you can't make out, and then shuts the window with a violent thunk. Down below, a little doll-sized lieutenant is looking up, shielding his eyes. He's worried for you.
I don't think we got any chance of this. Hopefully that's not a full stop to the quest. Saw that coming. But I thought that was what we were supposed to do.
You allow the broken hunk of metal to clatter to the ground. It wasn't clear to you it did anything anyway.
Bubble.
Nein, Liebling.
What?
But you didn't. You made things worse.
She's right. This was your responsibility.
No.
Damn it. I'm going to push the power supply. I doubt it will last more than a few minutes, so you'd better make them count.
A maelstrom of sound, swirling and swirling around an invisible point. It's mounting. Mounting.
Nicht mehr derselbe ist, seit auf einem Luftschiff aus Grad zurückgekommen ist.
Officer Sunset, please respond.
It's too much. Your eardrums are throbbing, about to burst.
What? If only we had the alcohol.
A long winter, long and cold.
Come on, man. You can't just say these things once you already heard that you're going to say those things.
And then, nothing.
That's suspicious.
Try it now.
This is Worship Archer. We are acknowledging and accepting you. Though we're still getting quite a bit of interference.
This is the best we can do. I suggest you get to your business quickly. I doubt I'll be able to maintain even this connection very long.
This is it. You're finally getting to speak with those who hold real power. There is so much you wish you could ask, but you probably only have time for 1 or 2 questions before the signal is lost.
Please be advised that you are speaking on a public frequency. What is your request? A very important question with a very simple answer. We want humanity to endure. Beyond that, it may be said that we are the inheritors and stewards of Dolores Day's legacy.
Dolores Day. So beautiful.
Immeasurable. It includes interstellar travel, 3 scientific revolutions, humanism, internationalism, the welfare state, and balance of terror theory. Nothing less than the intellectual foundation of our modern order. The role of the Moralist International is twofold: to buy humanity sufficient time to perfect itself, and to patiently guide it along the road while protecting it from ideological highwaymen and eschatologists.
I hope I really have more time than 1 or 2 questions.
There are many. The communists say they are the next dialectical step in an inexorable spiral of progress. They claim to have resolved the inherent contradictions of moralism, and believe they're just one revolution away from establishing a humanist paradigm. The fascists say they are both the ancestors of and the successors to Deloreanism. In other words, they believe that Dolores Day's reign simply represents a glorious phase of expansion within a greater Franco-Nigerian heritage. They criticize the DeLorean project for accepting and integrating new peoples rather than forcefully subjugating them. And then, there are our prodigal cousins, the Vazan Social Democrats, who hold our same values and have even adopted many of our same rights and iconography, though they persist in rejecting the umbrella of moralism. Many political theorists have argued that communism accepts the logic of DeLorean humanism while abandoning its spirit. They offer a cautionary tale, in other words, about attempting to found a paradise atop bones and ashes. But it's a delicate and very complicated subject. And of course, every belief system has something to recommend it. It's an elegant idea, one of the cornerstones of the modern era. In short, it holds that durable, lasting peace is possible when the major powers are capable of inflicting unacceptable and irreversible destruction upon one another. Because no rational state is willing to accept the risk of such a calamity befalling its own people. All powers are incentivized to de-escalate conflicts before they reach the point of no return. A state is like any other living thing. It wants to survive and grow. A state that doesn't value its own existence is not a state at all.
I don't know, there seem to be quite a few of those in real life. And they seem to be very prominent. Whatever.
It was established by many of the same founding party members who elected Dolores Day, and who, after her assassination, dedicated their lives to the continuation of their political and intellectual project.
That's a new bit of lore right there.
The RCM exists under the umbrella of the Coalition, just as the Coalition exists under the umbrella of the Moralientan. At the same time, the RCM is not exactly of the Coalition. Of course, this is history we're talking about. It's our understanding that the RCM's organizational structure predates the Coalition. We believe it may even be modeled after the communal brigades themselves.
There is some truth to that.
But in a practical sense, it's the responsibility of the ethics divisions to ensure that both organizations are working towards the same ends. One now committed to upholding moralist values. Strange, isn't it? History is a river coursing ever downward. Occasionally, its course is redirected in mysterious and unexpected ways.
Worship doesn't seem terribly bothered to just talk endlessly about just theory. Something that hard to contact, they don't seem resistant to being contacted.
Let us answer your question with a question. Have you ever seen evening fall over the old town of Vesperashi? If you have, then you would remember. It is one of the great wonders of the world, impossible to mistake or forget. The heart of the city, the old town, is a district composed of weathered marble, comprising thousands of columns and arcades arranged around a series of grand plazas. During the day, it's a beautiful sight, equal to any of the great cities of Pericarnassus. But as the sun sets, the shadows cast by those columns and arcades weave together to form an intricate ombre and lattice. When you see it, you suddenly understand. It was all built for you, for this very moment. For you, for all of humanity. Not only that, but you are also part of that centuries-long plan. When you cross one of the open plazas, your own shadows is effortlessly woven into the great lattice work, a deliberate synthesis of humanity, art, and the natural world. It is possible. We grew up there. We have seen the lattice with our own eyes. In Messina, of course. Not only was it the site of Dolores Day's crowning, it was also one of the great cities of the Dolorian era, a glorious expression of humanity's highest potential. Of course, such a city does not spring from nowhere, nor does it endure without effort. Its construction was the work of many generations, and its preservation is an equally monumental responsibility. About 3,000 years.
Right.
It is in all senses the most moderate and reasonable projection possible based on current science.
I'm not joking, officer. I'll only be able to hold the signal open for a few more moments. What you came here to ask you now.
Is everything alright?
No. It really is going to shut me down if I ask any more of these, isn't it? That's annoying. You write all this great dialogue and you can't even listen to it all, and I can't quick save. Like, can I regular save? No. I don't. I mean, I trust that it's being honest when it tells me I need to just move on. So, I don't know. I might look up the rest of this, someone else's video, and I recommend you do that too. And we hope someone went through the effort of reloading and replaying and all that. Whatever. Moving on.
Acknowledge. To reach the committee, all you need to do is fill out the appropriate request form and submit it to the Liaison for Public Affairs. If the liaison accepts your request, you will be invited to address the committee at their next quarterly public hearing. We believe the next hearing is scheduled for July.
She's got to be jerking your chain, right? You can't wait that long.
Not a problem. If this is a time-sensitive matter, you may file an emergency address request with the Liaison for Public Affairs. They typically respond within a few weeks.
This isn't about you. Not really. It may have been at a certain point, but you've let go of that perspective. This is about your responsibility to all of Revachon. Now, take a deep breath. Look upward. You don't have to bear the burden alone.
What? How do you know this? What's your tone? Now, please describe the situation in as much detail as you can. We will forward our summary to the committee.
There's papers rustling in the background. She's clearing her desk, preparing to take notes. There, you've wedged your foot in the door. Now, if you can show the Coalition how much they're needed, they'll have no choice but to intervene.
Yeah, I think it's gonna matter what we say.
Yes? Please continue. Was there anything else the committee should know?
That doesn't seem like it has quite the urgency.
Detective, before you answer that, I urge you to weigh your words extremely carefully.
You're not only speaking for yourself. He means to tell you, you're speaking for all of the RCM. What you say now will reflect on all of your half-brothers and sisters.
Oh. It doesn't seem like it's enough.
Please stand by while we transmit our summary to the committee.
A long winter.
I'm not sure how much longer I can keep the signal clear, officer.
Officer Sunset, this is Collision Worship Archer. Please acknowledge.
No, you know this tone of voice. You've heard it before. She's about to deliver some bad news.
We are sorry, Officer Sunset. The committee has declined your request for an emergency address.
Yeah.
Specifically, they said that disputes of purely local concern do not fall under their purview. They added that they expect the RCM to fulfill its responsibilities to a high degree of satisfaction.
Yeah. This quest is very reminiscent of current real-life bureaucracy and governments.
You're welcome. We must say that it has been interesting to speak with you. If nothing else, the RCM is frequently a source of curiosity to those of us aboard the After.
I should have just clicked the other dialogue options. That better not have been false urgency.
Now, the first signaler has informed us that we must update the receiving frequency. This connection will be cleared in 4, 3, 2, 1. Après le monde, le gris.
And the line goes quiet.
Yep, they do like being contacted. Use the non-functional official channels of the paperwork in the forum and the net.
The lieutenant gives a long sigh as he removes his headphones. He looks up at you.
No responsibility was taken.
I think it's best for you to climb off the statue now, Detective. Your real work is done here.
The sun-warmed bronze tingles beneath your fingertips and between your thighs. Your legs have grown stiff. You've been up here quite a while. You look around. The strikebreakers are still shouting their slogans and waving their hand-painted signs. Beneath you, the lieutenant and the programmer have begun disconnecting a few cables. You could stay a while longer if you wanted. Out on the bay, the lights on the buoys trace little oblong circuits in the dark. From a ways off, a single bell tolls. Beyond those, there must be something more, but you can't discern it. It's nothing but layers of translucent shadow.
I'm not kidding, Detective. It's time to calm down.
The lieutenant is right. There's really nothing more for you up here.
Good. Now give me a hand with these amplifiers. Leave the cables. I don't feel like making 2 trips.
What's one more trip across the waterlock?
Well, this was an interesting collaboration. Perhaps you're more reliable than the writers I used to work with. Though, that is not a difficult part to clear. In any event, just leave that equipment here. I'll put it away later. If you'd like, you can take one of the extra headsets. I don't need so many spares. Now, you'll excuse me. I have to get back to my own work.
Where's the headphones? I want the extra headphones. There. Ooh. Ah, is that better than that? Maybe. Well, I mean, that's that. Unless we do feel like trying to rush through it to see some of the other dialogue. Yeah, we dropped a save. If we can do that. And see if there is actually an urgency. That's mostly what I want to know.
Very good.
Back across the wall.
If you'll please carry that amplifier,
We
officer,
can skip through things.
and if you'll take that spool of cable, we should be able to move it all in one trip.
I can't. You took a second to load it. Maybe we see a different outcome from this. No. Man, according to this wiki, we could have had Noid do all this. That would have been more fun. No one directed us to him, though. Oh, failing that interfacing check doesn't do anything. Ask 3 questions before you're cut off. Huh. I don't think we actually have... well, I'm back in the game, but the game doesn't look like it's working right now. I'm not sure we can win this quest because we haven't done the prerequisite. Really? You're really gonna break? Come on, game. Well, that sucks.
Yes, what is it?
Pretty sure you gotta beat or finish this dialogue option in order to complete this quest.
Very good.
What?
If you'll please carry that amplifier, officer, and if you'll take that spool of cable, we should be able to move it all in one trip.
Hopefully listening to part of that dialogue will let this work. We're not going to keep trying this. It's too slow of a process. And man, you know, when I came back to this game, I thought I'd have it beaten in like 5 hours. Nope. Further from the end than I realized. And we accepted all the side quests. Really? I don't know why the game's breaking now. I guess we're lucky it worked the first time. Fine. Whatever.
Yo, man, what's on your mind?
You're not here to save scum everything in the world.
Oh, hey, man, it's good to see you. Goodbye, officer.
Really, let's not use that up. Just need to kill a single hour. Go full on murder on that hour. I don't know how to do that. No. Check. Damn it. I hate this slow scrolling. Not even anything useful. Actualization. Where'd Tommy go? Oh, wait, it's 22. We don't need to kill another hour. I thought it was 20. There, good. We can just move on with exactly what we wanted to be doing next. Make sure we get our shoes back up.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood tonight.
It's a Friday.
And his shirt is still unbuttoned.
Beautiful. So tell me, are you here to make things right again? Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting. Yeah, it does feel like the end of the week. Such gentle weather. My Sunday friend. He's brilliant. Everyone wants to meet my Sunday friend. You'll see. That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
Here's my friend.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up one by one.
Why did I even use that health thing when it's the end of the day?
Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad.
Just look at it. It's a beautiful night. Who's going to stay in on a night like this?
He's right. Only losers go to bed early. Time to break out the booze.
Okay.
A man on high heels stumbles out of a basement club, music blasting over the entire district. It's chilly, and as the chemicals hit his nervous system, 1,000 shivers ripple through his body.
Take care, all right?
Different, of course. He smells good. He smells good, and that's weird. Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
I'm just here to weird out Kim. Oh. Got more skill points than you could shake a stick at. How can we waste these? That's not really a waste, but it's useful. How many ones and zeros? You'd think this was a binary skill system. What? I can take a point of that. I'm really not even wasting these. Those are good picks. A lot of orbs in here. You ever thought about calling an exorcist? I don't need that. We try not to steal some of the time. Definitely not stealing that. We'll steal this one. You don't need the hat. But I think I might prefer that one. Still got those jeans on? Oh no. I wonder our skills were downgraded. Mess around. Not paying attention. I don't know, do we want those? Or do we prefer our overcoat? Rather have the empathy. But I'll wear these pants for a bit. Doesn't matter.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
You shouldn't be seeing him in an intimate setting. For some reason you feel this man is your superior. Superior, but he's not in the command chain.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur la Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview off on the right foot. Yes, make it clear you're the one setting the terms here. Yeah, let's fuck with him. Who does he think he is? Assisting you?
Yeah.
Oh yes, my friend has a great eye for these things. He refuses to tell me where it came from. It's a mystery. I believe they call this type of frame industrial. It's very comfy. That's really all I can tell you about it.
That didn't work at all. What was that? You were supposed to fuck with him, not compliment the decor. The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight. La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution. Your employer, technically speaking, the governing authority of Revachol. The RCM is but one part of this provisional administration. It is the most important thing. It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stabilité works to keep inflation just below 2%. But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%. The coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Yes.
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency.
So the moral term is all about anxiety and controlling things. Okay. That's the whole reason they oppose all the other ideologies. Because change is scary.
It's the International Organization for Moralists, hence Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the coalition.
There are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
But of course.
He already said he was.
Because moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values.
Yeah, and democracy is all about diffusing responsibility. Right, that's kind of the whole point of the quest, is you're learning responsibility is just endlessly chucked or diffused in other directions, so there's nobody actually taking responsibility in a democracy. And then you get blamed because, well, you're the voter. You should have voted differently. everything always comes back to you're responsible for everything in a democracy. Even while there is a hierarchy, there's always justification for, people in it not having to take. I really wish I had another word so I wasn't just repeating responsibility, but not having to take. They get all the credit, none of the responsibility, basically. Yeah. Nothing is lost as you climb a hierarchy. It's kind of the whole point of a hierarchy is the most capable people are supposed to rise to the top because they can take on the stress. It's not just supposed to be, here's a promotion, it's endlessly beneficial,
The Occident is part of the normal world. Orangnier, sur la clé. Martinez? No. Martinez is something else. Rivachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy.
There's also a thing about colonialization and imposing values. Yeah. Pretty much. I think what this game, the point it's trying to make is everything is colonialization other than communism, because the people who made this game are communists pretty openly, that's not like some mystery or conspiracy. And basically, so they oppose the fascism as imposing the values of a very small elite over a society, The democratic, moral in turn stuff is imposing values over a society. And then the capitalist one is kind of just, again, another elite thing. It's a bigger elite than the fascists, but imposing work to exploit, basically. So, I think that is the point they're trying to make here, is that they believe communism is the only one that's not a colonizing system, which isn't true. It is as well. So, you even just got to look at the Soviet Union. That was the original government that took over after the revolution. Quite a few of them moved over there from America. They weren't Russian. So, and it was funded by American banks. So everything's colonialization. That's the real message. The only way to avoid imposing is to just submit to someone else imposing. Or full-on isolation. But I don't think anyone about full-on, segregating every nation and all this and that either. So really talking politics, you'd have to talk about basically what is it okay to put out there knowing that it'll be imposed on someone who doesn't want it. Because I don't think there really is much in the way of universal values across humanity. So, yeah, basically, what do you believe is so important and critical to, not ordered, order's not the word, to well-lived life that it's fine to force? Yeah. Whatever, I'm not awake enough to be elegantly discussing this. And I'm trying to discuss it without being overly personal with it either, which complicates it. I don't know, I guess if I was to be personal, I'd just say that that's getting too far into ideological talk when real politics is really more just practical solutions. Which means you're not really thinking about things on such a high level. You're just acting as you need to act. And consequences will be what they will be. Yeah. Anything worth doing doesn't need a thesis paper justifying it about that.
But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
Yeah, there is some level that anyone with a strong political opinion will call anything that's not their opinion as being an ideology of colonization. But I literally just said everything is, so I don't know what that means.
Is this option D usually the most reasonable answer? Sounds like you're a moralist indeed, my friend. Welcome. Moralism is all about compromise and achieving the achievable. It's pragmatic, realistic, and level-headed, an ideology for doers. Are you a doer, my friend? It looks to me like you are. Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the Coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here. What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS.
Yeah, we've analyzed and investigated ourselves and only have nice things to say. There's the translation for that.
Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes. Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sur-la-Clé's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
That's a good combination, though. No, hungry.
Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur-la-Clé, Oranje is probably the most prominent member of the international community. As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur-la-Clé takes care of the business side of things. Sur-la-Clé hosts the headquarters of the major EPIS institutions. Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services and generally acts as an engine for sustainable change in the international community.
Of course he can't talk like a normal person, because giving personal opinions and experiences indicates taking the responsibility. Just giving facts, again, you're just diffusing. If it's wrong, well, my sources must have been wrong. Yeah. The deflection ideology.
About what? Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Like I said, They are an example for less emerged nations to follow. Whatever you wish, officer. Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters. How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Peninsula? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in. Au contraire, it's how millions of people end up where they are, meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend too. Kedra is a candidate member of APIS, but between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue. That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since. EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far as the eye can see. It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moral Intern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level. Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern as a whole. A supranational political alliance, the United States of Occident. You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy. It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure. No, candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation.
I might get some vibes that Revachol is like Puerto Rico. Definitely has a certain Latin Caribbean feel to it, despite the cold, the snow, all that. We're not talking about the weather, but
But we were talking about my friend here, not politics. I'm just enjoying the view. We're old friends. Nothing's taboo between us. He comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's very active. I'm just enjoying...
A dead body we still need to get down, by the way.
Listen.
A baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
No, listen. The Insulindian Bay. My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. Sorry, who? But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization. Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
Fine, you said please.
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes. He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him. I'm all ears, officer.
The real question now.
I'm sorry to say I did, officer. Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Interesting.
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities. I went back inside.
Yes, back inside. Keep yourself safe from the killing.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man. All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly. I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Aeropagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent. Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching. Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late. My watch. Yes, now I remember. It was 30 minutes past midnight, give or take. No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more assistance.
The critical shortage of responsibility around here.
A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave. It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
Yeah, whatever.
Of course. I'm glad I could help.
Not helpful quest. Though we checked another thing off. That's worth something. Especially if we might have happened to have re-unlocked a check. But I don't think we did. Nope. That was not useful for the case. At all. That's bad. Risk of wasting mass quantities of cash. I've never actually gone back to the hotel here after unlocking the shack. So let's see what actually happens if we choose to pay to spend an extra night here. And we're gonna drop a save first, because if it's nothing, I am save scum at that. I don't care. But it might be some. And I'm such a cheapskate that I've never... I mean, in 2 playthroughs, that's not a lot, but in 2 playthroughs, I haven't tried it.
Hey, was there something you needed? Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
What's this? Yeah. I know there's an achievement for bothering Kim, and we hadn't been able to do it previously, so that's what I'm experimenting with here, is how do you bother Kim after he goes to sleep? Also, there are things that needed Kim out of commission to do.
The lieutenant's door is closed. No response. What are you doing?
Being annoying.
Still, no response. Where is he? Isn't it party o'clock? Anything to not face the hanged disco man yet.
I wonder if we could have done this before.
You hear the sound of a drawer closing, followed by the shuffling of feet.
Is that you, Harry? What time is it?
Just walked in there, Kim. Act like you already asleep.
Isn't it always party time with you?
You're going to have to figure this one out on your own.
Good night, Harry.
Got what you wanted.
The lieutenant's door is closed.
Let's go for a wander. Yeah, we probably could have done that from the shack, but whatever.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
Get that check. Wasting the thing? Probably not. But there are other ways we can do this. You got some sellable stuff. I don't like that we only got 3 uses of that.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down, bastard.
Do you think she really needs more of that after a man died at sea?
Good.
What if I told you it is actually possible to go on a date sober? Before recorded history, men and women were able to do simple, very primitive things together sober. Acknowledge the situation and keep it basic.
I have, and I don't really. Just a walk? I don't know, officer. I would not have taken you for an innocent perambulator. Where would this walk take us, officer? All right, I will walk with you. But you need to understand that nothing is going to happen. We're just walking. Charming. My man was like that too. Had to knock 2 of his teeth out to establish a good relationship dynamic. I'll see you at Land's End in, let's say, 15 minutes.
She doesn't wait for an answer. You better get ready.
$15 minutes.
Was that acceptance? It feels so normal, nourishing even.
Good, now we can swap into... No, no. No, we don't want that. Mean threshold versus shivers. I think we got the right outfit. Was there something else we needed Kim away to do? Don't remember what it was.
The old woman still sits in her chair. The buzz of electric lights blends together with the slow rumble of the ocean waves at night.
Yes, I can't really sleep anymore. Only a few hours a night. It happens when you grow older. My suggestion is, don't. Don't grow any older than you already are. That's old enough. What's troubling your mind?
It's cold out here. Purple lights in the church. I don't think we're gonna need that one, but oh no. It's fine.
The woman gazes steadily at the waves. A sudden gust picks up her dark hair and lets it fall again, tousled, wild. She brushes a few stray locks from her eyes, and only then spots you approaching.
Been funny if we ran back to the hotel and went to sleep when she is out here. That's not very empathetic.
Aye, so here you are. It's late and the sun is going down. It'll be dark soon.
What?
If we stay here long enough, we will be joined by a cortege of drunks and teenagers.
The sun is going down?
Know that you're not the first guy to bring a girl to Land's End. This is what the locals call a make-out spot. That is not going to happen here today. I just want to make that clear, Dimples.
Her thoughts are still elsewhere, with distances across the water, and with the water itself.
Drinking men aren't known for keeping their appointments. Aye, so an officer should be. All that running around must need a lot of structuring.
Her laughter is throaty and warm. It rhymes with the waves and the cries of the gulls. As she turns to face the sun, reflected in the waves and the skyscrapers rising across the bay, you cannot help following her steady gaze.
It's a common Revacholian expression. Means drinking yourself to death. So, are you going to keep the name? Well then.
Not terribly impressed. Not surprised either. The remains of the dying sun are reflected in the waves and the skyscrapers rising across the bay. Your mind clears for a moment as your senses take it all in. Not just the glass skyscrapers, fragile looking in the shimmering air. River Esperance flowing into the bay.
What? My mind cleared.
Isn't it strange for this all-powerful thing, the sun, to be so generous towards us? You know, the best time to go out fishing is usually towards sunset, when the water is warmer.
The sun also falls on the Capeside tenements and war-torn ruins. An old sea fortress juts out, seemingly impervious to the sheen cast over everything else, shaking you out of your reverie.
I mean, I guess we could just say that we're near the pole and the sun is up 23 hours a day here.
The sun does little for the dead, and those hopelessly lost in their own minds.
Oh, that was a bit of pride and a bit of superstition.
There's salt in the air, and the cries of the gulls and the skuas, grit of the sand and the green glint of broken bottles. But still your gaze always returns to the dazzling streaks of light, wherever they may be reflected, their fading opulence.
It's bringing us spring, summer. It's entirely on our side, no matter what we do or who we are, for absolutely no reason. It's unlike no other powerful being, certainly no powerful organization or government. How can that be? No. And it will outlive them all.
Maybe some general remarks before you say something big. Work your way up to the cool.
Thank you. I'm half Ubi. My mother was from Ubi Sunt. Not a lot of sun there, I hear, though I've never been.
The wind ruffles her hair as she looks at the setting sun.
It's enough that my fish goes there. 50 real a piece they ask for spring cod.
Out on the terrace of La Fruit de Fond, a hip business lunch spot in downtown La Delta, glasses clink over a spread of oysters. Someone can't decide what to eat. Someone recommends a ceviche. Someone shields her eyes, trying to see across the bay.
These aren't real fish hooks, silly. They're earrings shaped to look like fish hooks. A drunk called Rosemary brought them to me. I kept them.
She's right. They're made mostly of plastic. A cheap novelty gift you can buy from a flower shop or a kiosk. The wind ruffles her hair as she looks at the setting sun.
Good one. I'm gonna go with the rope.
That took our fantasy point away.
Say what? Something interesting? Impossible.
Thank you. Out there on the other planet, the sea, you start seeing things in a strange light. I'm glad I got to share it. You know, the wind's gonna pick up soon, and I have to go, but have this. The sun's good, but it doesn't stick things. I've no use for it anymore. No. Men around here are too drunk to pose a threat to me. Doubt it. But thank you for the company.
This is as far as it goes with her. You'd need to put a year between you and your last drink for anything more.
Oh.
Farewell.
Can we round up? I mean, a minute, a year. They both start with 1. We'll have to show that to Kim. Well, we're here.
Just dead and dying locusts. Poor things.
I think we're gonna have to pick between save scumming to get the don't pull down the body achievement and just doing the mission as you're supposed to do it. I mean, I already made the choice at the beginning of the episode. We're not gonna be ridiculous with the save scumming. Is there anything else that we can do? Don't think so. Oh, supposedly there's some I could talk to Joyce about without Kim around, but that's from the wiki. I haven't actually seen that. Sorry about the voice. Just a second. Alright. Should be able to talk fine again, just to clear my throat. I'll be finishing this episode soon. Another 3 hours. I am very good at making games take longer than they have any right to.
You're back. Good. What can I help? More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything. We're in Martinez, baby. Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year. It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean. Yes, we're on an island in an ocean, the world's largest body of water, the Insulindic.
Vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
Lukewarm.
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed-over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, The Martinez Distributory.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders.
A brief spike of longing in her upright body, the dots under her eyelids shaked.
This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets. Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats and... Don't hold it against me. The boys certainly did not.
There's a spark in the air, a live wire hanging in the wind, in your hungover neocortex. Then the sea air cools it down.
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city. The great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism, a fact.
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
Yeah, we're gonna skip some of these. This is dialogue we probably should have had on day one. But whatever.
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men. We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is. Oh, we're quite a way off. About...
A sparkle of lights on the nighttime horizon, reflected in the dark sea.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
No, we don't.
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown. A bird? A Svenicid? Some sort of krill hunter? No, wait. You're an ancient ruin. A symbol of hubris and decay. Half submerged in some salty sea. Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games. Of course. Ask me anything.
I don't know. You might have to pass this check to get the dialogue that I'm thinking of. It's going to be a 3% no matter how many bonuses I put on top of that. I'm actually doing math on this for once. Yeah, I don't know about this hardcore mode. This isn't providing any value to the game at all. Fortunately, it's not a single save hardcore, but... just if you want to see the results of checks that you have a hard time failing, I don't know.
A strange coldness comes over you. It's on the tip of your tongue. A doubt of sorts.
Whatever.
Glad to have been of assistance.
We're gonna get some sleeping in, and then we'll call the video along with the night. I probably still got another couple episodes of this. That's crazy. At this point, I do feel like I'm delaying doing something else. Another playthrough I'm doing with my whole as like a psychological introspection thing. Yeah.
Hey, was there something you needed? You're already set for the night.
Putting things off.
The lieutenant's door is closed.
There is a way to get in there, I'm pretty sure of it. Guess not while he's in there, though.
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. But it's yours. You've earned it. The room behind your closed eyelids is familiar now. The only home you've ever known. Its darkness gathers. The last thing you hear is the wind blowing in through the broken window. Then something comes. A kind of sleep.
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes. Tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately? Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone lately? Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people and then forgets about it.
Hear that? He doesn't even flinch. Iceman doesn't care about killing people. That's nothing to him. Blackwater, under the bridge. The thing he's really scared of is much, much worse than that.
Don't tell him, sister. It's too bad.
They're right. This is their function. To keep you from it.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions, flares and countermeasures to keep you from the last dream. The worst of them all.
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
Hey, this literally calling me out for avoiding a psychological thing. What's funny is the what's the phrasing? The big picture of the thing I'm avoiding doesn't bother me. It's literally just, trauma from my medical illness, injury, whatever it ends up being. The issues with my brain have dulled, my senses pretty bad. And before I knew I had a medical issue, I guess I was traumatized by the unexpected dullness of my emotions, my all five senses. That scared me. It was like a forced derealization without a dissociation. Yeah. I can gladly share that. Gladly is not the word. I'm content being transparent about it. It's just going into every little specific and then comparing it to the couple memories I have from before. One of the issues is just the lack of memories from before, which is more so never making memories, not remembering them. It's because of previous baggage and issues that I've fully worked off of them, or worked them off, recovered, but the time spent, growing up with trauma, you're not gonna, fixing the trauma and being a healthy adult doesn't put memories in where they weren't formed, experiences that were avoided, you're not getting that back. I don't know. Having more memories to contrast with the present wouldn't necessarily be a good thing, but yeah, I think it would be a good thing, actually, because the couple I got are motivational. It's one of the main reasons I keep fighting, actually. So if I can cure this medical stuff and do whatever cognitive rehab, the curiosity of seeing if I can get back from the before, that's what keeps me going. So if I didn't have any contrast, I wouldn't have a before, and I'd never know if I was fully healed. So I don't know. I don't need more points of reference. So I don't think that's the actual thing bothering me. 'Cause I got enough, even if it's just 1 or 2 memories. It's fine. Yeah, so the specifics of the numbness is what bothers me to dive into. Even though it's pretty much everything. It's not equally bothering. Not having a sense of smell doesn't really matter. Having significantly reduced taste is whatever. I mean, I'm not going to narrow it. I am narrowing it down, but I shouldn't be doing that because that'll just force me to give all the answers, won't it? My vision's atrocious and just destroyed, but I've talked about that enough. I'm still narrowing it down. There's more than 5 senses, don't you know? I'm not narrowing it down. Nah, I mean, I said I'll talk about it at some point. I'm not even sure the problem is that I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to upset anyone with it, maybe. It might be more the thing. And there's always the question on it's not will I have to process it, it's how different will processing it be if I put it off long enough, I get medical care treatment, and then the problem's gone. Because then I'm grieving a past tense, not an ongoing with an unknown resolution. But, we gotta finish this episode off, though. That's enough. I was traumatized by my body not acting as I expected it to before I had a understanding of why it was betraying me. So. Yeah. That's the big picture.
In hell, an ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the video rental, there is a warm breath on your face again. Everything is okay again.
Everything is so okay. Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you. You're back. In 2 seconds, the alarm will ring.
It's kind of funny how the trauma of this game is relationship trauma. And my real life trauma, it's like a relationship trauma between me and my body. It doesn't involve... That's the thing, you know, I'm an extrovert. It took me a while to realize that it didn't involve anybody else. Trauma of expectations of the self. Disappointment where there shouldn't have been any. I mean, I do have medical trauma now, but that's more straightforward. That's medical trauma being trauma caused by bad behavior of doctors. That's what medical trauma means. It's all medical related. That doesn't particularly bother me in out of situations that provoke flashbacks. So, and it takes a bit to provoke that. So, whatever, that's straightforward. That's not what I'm putting off. So,
the last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church.
I mean, I'm willing to say what I'm putting off. Playing a Origin playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3 with Karlak. Her story resonates the most with what I'm trying to process. That's almost scarier that it's not a character I'm crafting to analyze something. It's playing a character who mimics my struggles. There's a pre-configured story, and I don't know what the dialogue and everything's going to be. So that's where I'm avoiding it, that it might catch me off guard. Less controlled experience, perhaps. There you go. I'm not recording that, by the way, so don't be all looking forward to that series. I would if I was healthier, but yeah, I got only so much cognitive capacity to go around. I really just want to focus it on the introspection and processing things as opposed to entertaining. I process things much better when I'm talking and externalizing them, but I don't know. I couldn't really evaluate what the better approach was. So I just ended up deciding to do it privately, because then I don't have to necessarily have a couple hours to record. If I think I can play the game for 15 minutes here and there, I can just do that to pick at it. Basically, it's an anti-delaying technique, is why I'm doing it privately. And I mean, hey, I'm 2 hours into the playthrough. And I'm 3 hours into this specific episode of this one.
This fan has 2 chain pull switches. Or has it been consigned there?
Don't need to hear about punishment. We need to hear about leaving the episode till next time. Where'd Kib go? Is he's waiting to ambush? Yeah. Alright. We call this episode. I said a good bit of personal stuff. Got it off my chest. Yeah. Alright, till next time, everyone. I don't know how long it's going to take to finish this game. Goodbye, good night, all that. Out, wit, out.